Hi everyone, I'm Sergey Gusev. Welcome back to this channel. Today I'm going to show you how to paint an apple from life. But while painting, I'm going to talk about a very important thing, in my opinion, especially for beginners, about frustration from your artworks and how to come over it. So let's begin. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, put thumbs up if you like my channel, and also don't forget to share this video with your friends and your favorite social network to help me out. Okay, so let's get started. I have noticed that some beginners, beginning artists, sometimes expect to get really amazing results very quickly and very easily. And if it doesn't happen immediately or within, let's say, 1, 2, 3 weeks, sometimes they give up, they stop believing in themselves, they decide that they don't have a talent for painting, and sometimes they just give up completely. Which is, in my opinion, a big mistake, because if you actually like to paint, you should obviously continue, but you should remember about a few quite important things which will help you to not get disappointed, first of all, then not fail or do it a lot less, and improve your artistic skills. So today I want to give you some very simple basic tips, but in my opinion very helpful. So first of all, I have noticed when I teach online or when I just talk to people, talk to artists personally, I noticed that many of them expect to get results very quickly and to get very amazing results. So let's say you decided to go to an art school or art course, or take a course online, or maybe you downloaded a tutorial and you start painting on your own. You think that in a couple of days or maybe 1, 2, 3 weeks you will get to a certain level and you'll get really great results, like maybe even museum quality results. And usually, of course, it does not happen. Maybe you fail, you can't draw, you can't construct, you don't get the results you were thinking about and you had expected, and then you kind of decide that you don't have a talent for painting or drawing, and you get frustrated. Your mood is bad, you decide to give up, to leave the school, and I would say it's a big mistake, because actually when you start painting or drawing, or when you start up anything new in your life, it's going probably to take a lot of time, and same about painting. We of course would like to get results immediately or spend as less time as possible and get to a certain high level. But I would say, and especially because I can judge it because of my own experience in painting, that it doesn't happen immediately. Sometimes it takes up to a few years before you start to understand even basic forms. And of course, I'm not saying that every beginner needs to wait for a few years, like 5, 10 years, to get very simple results. No, of course not. Maybe it's gonna happen in 2, 3 weeks or in a couple of months. But when you expect quick results, you get frustrated quickly also when you don't get the results. So in my opinion, when you start up anything new, don't think about results and don't think about time. Maybe in your case it's going to take a week to learn some basics, to learn how to draw a plastisphere, let's say, so a very basic form. For some artists it's going to take a month or 2. It's also okay, it's not about time in this case. What's more important is to understand how small things work, and then you will be able to apply this knowledge to drawing or painting more complex forms like a portrait. And again, I noticed that some people, beginners, artists, they want to start working on a portrait or figure or multi-figure composition on a large canvas or paper. And again, they fail just because they don't know how to draw a very basic form like a sphere or cube or anything like that. And so here is another tip I would give to any beginner. Don't start your career from a very complex object or subject. Always start from simple forms, even primitive forms, and then move on to a more complex thing. So again, I would suggest you to start painting or drawing something very simple you could actually find around you. Like in my case, I'm painting an apple. It's a very simple form. I don't think this is the most primitive shape, but again, as a beginner, you could always find something around you like this, like an apple or an egg, put it up as a simple still life, and then paint it from life. Trust me, you will learn a lot more, a lot quicker, and then you'll be able to move on to another thing, maybe to a more complicated thing, or a group of objects to a more advanced still life. But again, I would never recommend you as a beginner to start learning things from a human head or figure. It's quite difficult. You need to learn a lot in the anatomy. You need to know a lot about tonal values. Of course, you need to learn and know a lot about color mixing of warm and cool colors, about composition, about the light source, just basic heads or figure construction. It takes time. If you fail painting a portrait, it means only one thing: you need to get back to a more simple thing. So here is another tip I would give to any beginner. If you decide to learn anything new, it's great. Just remember to always start simple. And another great tip, in my opinion, I would give you today is to paint or draw from life, especially when you just decide to start learning how to paint or draw. When you're a professional, when you have a lot of experience, you can paint from imagination, you can paint from a photograph, or you can paint one part from life, another part of your painting from a photograph, or even combine all these methods together. It's up to you. But again, when you learn, don't make your life more complicated than it is. So I would highly suggest you to put up a very simple still life. Like again, in this case, I just put up an apple and painted from life using only natural light as the light source. So if you take from a photograph, it's a lot more difficult to understand how the volume works, how to build up volume, how to work on the tonal values, how to work on the colors. When you work from life, you can actually walk around the thing you paint. So if you don't understand something, you can take this apple in your hands and look at it, to figure out how the volume is built. Same with the colors. If you decide to find a picture on the internet and use it as a reference, it's not a bad idea at all. But again, if you just don't know how to properly use references, you maybe will fail. Because a lot of pictures are actually photoshopped, the ones you can find online. The colors are very saturated, sometimes unnatural, sometimes the things, objects or subjects, they look quite flat. You don't get how the volume works, you don't understand the color, and you don't understand the value. When you put it up in your real life, when it's in front of you, it's a lot easier to judge the values, judge the color, and figure out the construction. So this is my third basic tip for today. Try to paint in the beginning only from life. So let's sum up. First of all, if you're a beginning artist, if you want to learn how to paint, how to draw, it's amazing, it's great. Go ahead, don't listen to anyone. But remember that you should not care much for the time. Don't expect to get quick results on high level. Remember to start painting from life, and remember to start working on very simple objects and things. You can always move on to a more advanced form, just not right from the beginning. These days we learn and see and watch a lot of videos and tutorials on social media, on Instagram. Sometimes it looks pretty simple, very fast, very amazing. So when you try to do something similar and then you fail in 1-2 days or 2 weeks, you get frustrated. So remember that actually in real life it takes time, sometimes even years, to get to a high level. So, okay guys, I hope this video was not too negative, and actually I wanted to inspire you and help you to come over some maybe mistakes or things that would make you feel disappointed in your skills. So anyway, I hope you will continue painting, or if you just want to start up, you will do it immediately. Following these simple tips, you will get amazing results, and I'm sure within a very short period of time. Remember that you can download my full-time painting tutorials from my webpage. I'm sure they will help you out to develop your skills, and also you can find a lot of helpful information and video lessons on my Patreon page. Follow the links in the description. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next episode.